Hey guys, so I'm here with Mr. Daniel, aka Ruin, who I can honestly say is a professional video game player. What I wanted to do was kind of give you an idea as to just what you can do in video games. And the thing that's really impressive, especially with the game that you love, Marvel's Capcom 3, is just how you can do 170 hit combos and basically take what, you know, used to be a, hey, I could do a fireball and a hurricane kick, and basically take it to it. I mean, honestly, the level of complexity that this game displays is something you're about to find out right now. So while I'm talking and he's already in his time warp and executing a combo of well over 100, or it's coming anyway, he's doing it basically with no life in his eyes because it's simply ingrained in muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
But just to give you an example, you want to stop what you're doing, you crackhead. Yep. Why don't you just let the audience know? So in Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, you essentially have 4 buttons that you're using plus your assist.
2 assist buttons, yeah.
So you have your light punch, or your light attack, your medium attack, your hard attack, a special attack, which launches is a launcher.
It's your universal launching attack. Yeah.
And then you have 2 assists because you're using 3 players versus 3 players. So at any given time, you can have as many as, what, 4 players on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, you can always, if you do triple team or something, I mean, but consecutively it'll probably be 4 maximum because you'll have your character, your assist, and their main character and their assist character.
So once again, in terms of letting you know just how hard this could be, the combo that you're going to execute right now, why don't you give us what we call the notation. Notation is essentially the explanation of the combo you're going to do.
Pretty much the notation would be the transcript of the moves I'm inputting into the game.
The transcript of the moves you're putting into the game. So this particular combo, you're using Zero, Virgil, and Dante.
This is correct.
And they like to call this Zero May Cry.
Yep.
Very popular this year's EVO Championship because of just how
strong the characters work with each other. They all help each other. Just a really strong team, and the Dante assist maximizes Zero probably. It's a system in just being able to convert and kill you off anything. So
now, how many characters total are in Marvel's Capcom 3?
I think it's 54.
So 54 characters, and basically what we have is a community of players trying to find the best way to make 3 characters on your team kind of merge and you know, kind of work as a team. So real quick, give me the notation of the combo you're going to do right now. Stop what you're doing.
Okay.
Let go.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it. Well,
you're going to.
Oh, okay.
But look at the camera right now and tell them what it's going to take to do a 100 and something hit combo.
Okay. Well, with Zero, this is I'd say it's pretty much become a standard bread and butter combo.
Bread and butter combo. Get ready for this shit.
So his normal combo would be. It consists of standing heavy first, which is a 3-hit normal, and the standing S, which will launch them. Medium, which is medium, and then quarter circle forward into heavy, which causes a dive attack, puts him in a knockdown state. Then I normal jump again, and all of this is while I'm holding my buster. So I'm always holding the light punch button to charge his So I normal jump, quarter circle forward, release buster, lightning, S again, medium, heavy, S, quarter circle forward, heavy, release, lightning, call my Virgil assist, S, super jump up, S into Virgil extension, land, normal jump, quarter circle forward, release buster, call Dante, lightning into lightning loop. So.
That's like the Pythagorean theorem, like times a million. Like, this is just kind of what I want people to understand. Is like, he basically listed a list of moves that was some 40 deep. And he's got to do that while basically with all this action happening on the screen.
Yes.
So I guess with that, let's see what that looks like.
You better edit out me missing it though.
Fine. So 107 hits in a span of maybe 12 seconds.
And that combo, if done optimally, like I said, it will kill anyone in the cast. So one touch kill if the combo is executed properly.
All right, so no, what I really want to do is, having kind of seen what the effects are on the screen, this is what it looks like when I'm trying to do this. It's insane. But now when you do it, it's just systematic and methodical.
It has to be controlled, because obviously if you do the inputs at an incorrect time or don't hit them at the right sequence, they won't come out. So yeah, you just have to have all your sequences down. And like I said, in Marvel vs. Capcom, it's all about execution. That's the biggest, probably one of the biggest factors to winning, is always being able to kill on command and just being able to pull off your combos at any given time. So yeah, having clean execution is one of the most important things in the game. So mashing and trying to struggle your moves out is just never going to be, you know, something that's a viable option. Whenever you see anyone that's really good at the game, you see that if you see them, you know, jerking around or making a lot of motions, it means that, you know, they're probably not, they don't have their execution on point. When you see someone that knows what they're doing, it should be pretty collected and calm and, you know, just, yeah, like you said, methodical and just understanding what you're doing.
Now, where would people go to kind of get a better idea as to how to play this game? I mean, I know you've mentioned event hubs before, but I mean, are there like online tutorials and stuff for people to really see what's going on? Or I mean, how'd you learn this?
Well, fortunately for me, I've been playing fighting games for a long time, and I have a lot of friends in the community also. So a lot of the information just kind of trickles down, and like you said, there are tutorials that come out, and even built into the game, you know, there's some tutorials that help you with the combos, and just after that, going into training mode, you have so many options that you can explore through here. You just get bored and start dicking around, setting the computer to different things and testing out different combos, and yeah, pretty much just goes from there.
You know, it's funny, there's a meme that's out there, and it shows like a guy who's like, what is he thinking when he's playing? And he's just thinking quarter circle forward.
Yeah.
And then the guy next to him is thinking about frame data advantage and, you know, all kinds of different theories as to how to basically execute just a combo.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really is, it says something, because when I grew up on video games, literally, you were the man when you knew how to execute an uppercut.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
one, hey, how did you do that? Like that.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, or, you know, I've heard stories where you were selling like finishing moves to people when Mortal Kombat 2 came out.
Those were the
and that was just down, square, you know, it was just
a lot more simple, yeah. I mean, it's just like things that, like I said, the spread of information among games has just made everything advance so much more. Like, the level of competition, that's why it's risen so high, is because no longer, before, if you were kind of limited to, you know, the people around you, how good you can get or what you can learn. Now with the internet and just the trickle down of information, games are just pushed to the limit and broken down so much quicker. Yeah.
I always enjoyed Desk when he would bring out his little exhibition, combo exhibitions, you know, unlimited, infinite, chunky kicks, and I mean, God knows what, but those things are out there. And you know, one of the things I love about this game is just it's fun to watch. I mean, it's ADD centric, because sometimes I don't know what I'm seeing.
Colors everywhere, people dying, life bars going down, and tons of hits on screen.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's an amazing game. You know, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the popularity of that game was well over 10 years.
Yep.
This one clearly we'll see for another 10 years as well, especially with licensing rights and everything.
Yeah, until Disney gives it up, we might be stuck with this for a while.
This might be around for a very long time.
10 more years, right?
So what's your advice then to kids who are trying to just get into it? I mean, they're at 135.
Yeah, like I said, if anyone is playing the game and they want to, I guess, elevate their game past just the casual level, there's tons of online resources you can have. Something, eventhubs.com, shoryuken.com, even YouTube. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you just type in your character's name and, you know, optimize and put in Zero optimized combo or Dante optimized combo, and you will see people performing, and they'll have the notations of how they performed it. And like I said, even in training mode, I could turn on my input display, and you can see all my notations of what you're pushing at the bottom.
So let's throw a little bit of terminology out there for some of our more casual viewers to kind of hear about, so they know what you're talking about. A lot of times at the Evo tournament, you know, there's a lot of lingo that's used. So
the jargon.
Frame data.
Yeah, what that would mean is obviously the game calculates like an attack by it's drawn, you know, their pictures. So a frame would mean how many pictures, I guess, it takes for an attack to come out. So something like, let's say Zero, his standing attack, that right there would be, I think it's, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's a 5 frame attacks. So it's
So do you see the 5 frames? Like, are you like in the Matrix when you play this? Because I just see a green light sword. But you're saying there's 5 frames of, I mean, that's milliseconds.
Yeah. But those are the kind of, obviously when I'm looking at the game, I don't see this and interpret it into numbers, but it's all information that. It's like I said, it's comparable to something like you could say is poker. The more information, the more you're able to, deduct from your opponent or your own game. You can just make more educated decisions. So while I might not know that that's a 7 frame or a 6 frame normal, but if I know that my opponent is going to do something that's an 8 frame normal, then if I just know mine's faster, I can use that to my advantage. So that's I guess kind of the gist of it is knowing the speed of your attacks. That's really what it is. It's kind of like knowing how fast something is and knowing your opponent. Yeah.
All right, zoning.
That would be just knowing the distance. So like me, if I know, like I said, my standing heavy, it's not as fast as my standing light, but it has more space. So knowing how to zone would mean that I know when to use it. So I should know that if I'm here and he's attacking me, I can throw that safely at a distance where I'm at an advantage and he's putting himself at a disadvantage. So that's kind of what zoning is, just navigating around the screen, knowing how to call and place your attacks.
What about footsies? Is the relation to zoning?
Yes, that's pretty much, footsies would be, again, knowing the distance between your opponent's attacks and your attacks. So if I know that Doctor Doom has an attack that only reaches, a certain amount of distance, then I can use my attack to, kind of trick him to throwing an attack and punish him for throwing it. So I might walk out of a distance. So if I know that that's the distance where he can attack, I walk in and out of that distance, hoping that he tries to attack me, and then I punish him for it. So that's what I guess kind of the basics of footsies would be, is just dancing or playing with each other's ranges and zoning to attack each other.
Any other terminology that we should know about in Marvel besides help me? What's going on?
Yeah. Like I said, zoning, footsies. None really come to mind right now, but those would be. Those are, I guess, the foundation of learning how to be good at, or your foundation for the fighting, the essentials, just zoning, footsies, attacks, knowing your data and your combos, things like that.
Let me ask you, someone jumps into this game for the first time.
Right.
And, a lot of times when someone plays, they go based on familiarity. So like, oh, hey, Ryu's in it, I'm going to use Ryu.
Of course.
And clearly he's not one of the better characters in the game. So if someone was to pick this up for the first time, what would you recommend? Just 5 characters off the top of your head that are somewhat easy to pick up, because you don't want to give me something super technical.
Right. I guess if you're just jumping into the game, even learning a character like, say, Magneto, while he might not be the easiest to pick up, but if you really get familiar with how he maneuvers around the game, he takes advantage of the system really well. So if you can become familiar with someone like him, that would really help out your game. As far as simple characters that are really effective, obviously someone like Virgil. He has really long attacks. They're really powerful. They're quick. He doesn't have to put himself in a lot of danger. Zero would be another one. All of his attacks are huge attack box, like hitbox. That's another,
hitbox. There you go.
That's another word. A hitbox would pretty much mean my attack, what it can hit, what it covers. So if I know that's my hitbox right there, my big green sword. Yeah. So any character that has a big hitbox or a big special, like that, Virgil's stand heavy. I mean, it covers
like almost 3/4 of the screen.
3/4 of the screen, and it leads to, it could potentially lead to death or a huge combo. So easiest characters I would recommend would be Virgil, Wolverine, Doctor Doom, Zero, and someone like Hulk. Yeah, characters that just can kill you with simple button presses. You don't need to know all the intricacies of the game. If you learn just their basic combos, they're threatening enough that if you're just getting into it, you're going to do some damage. Yeah, I guess it's a relative term to say what simple is, because what's simple to me might not be simple to everyone else playing the game. So
people have to respect just that level of just degree of difficulty.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that makes a game like Marvel so interesting, is that, like I said, on the outside, you can play something. It's something with a very simple rule set, but it has a lot of intricacies and depth to it as you explore it. But if you want to take it as it pretty much lets you take it as far as you want. If you want to play it, approach it in a very casual and just simple manner, you can definitely do that. But if you really want to get into the mechanics of the game and figure it out, the game has a training mode that's very in depth and lets you explore just so much of it.
YOLO foot dive.
YOLO foot dive. That's another very popular. That's why Dr. Doom is so good. Just sometimes you have to press some buttons to win, and he's a character that likes to do that.
Another one of his special moves that have a huge hitbox and just kind of get you out of trouble whenever you need it.
Yep, it's like an instant bullet, and it can lead to death. So definitely one of the things that makes him very viable.
And then let's talk about real quick, the whole mystique of the arcade stick.
Okay.
I always like to talk about how important these are, but a lot of people use a pad because that's what they normally get their system with. And, I recently saw you play somebody knowing just how damn good you are with a standard pad, and you struggled.
Oh, immensely, yes.
Yeah, and it was hard for you to do. So now, do you recommend that people start with an arcade stick?
That's purely a preference. Again, for me, it's just I grew up playing in the arcades, and I'm very familiar with using an arcade joystick. Some people, like Denzel, DJT88, he's very familiar with playing a pad because, like you said, that's what comes with your standard console. And if you pick it up on that, that's what you're comfortable with, it should be no problem.
Now, we've seen players in top 32 who actually had just
Wolf Crone, Fnatic, a great Marvel player. There's tons of names out there. It's strictly a preference. At some point, some people actually do make the switch to stick, though, because some people believe that there are some limitations from using the pad. But again, that's just all preference. I say go with whatever you're comfortable. Try both out and see what works for you. I can never say what will work for someone else. Sure. Both are definitely viable.
I mean, I don't have too much more. I wanted to really, take the moment out to show people just what really this game is. It's more than just. While you can do that and have a good time, look, now we're doing wave dashing, yet another, technical term where you're covering more space by tricking the system somehow by, pressing two buttons at once.
What you're essentially doing is in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you could perform a dash by pressing two punch buttons or forward or back. That's how you.
That takes too long to go forward.
Yeah, that's kind of your maneuver. And in this kind of game, like I said, footsies, ranging, manipulation of space is just really important. So if I'm able to manipulate my space quicker than you can, obviously that puts me at an advantage. So with a lot of characters, like I said, instead of doing just a normal dash, you can cancel an attack into a dash really quickly, and it'll cancel the animation of the attack into a dash, and that's what a point dash is like that. So you get to maneuver a lot quicker.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, chess for 2013. I mean, seriously, it's always really just inspiring to see just what you can do with this game. It's sick.
Yeah, there's
Video
just great depth. So.
I see Ruin. Insert Coins is a very proud sponsor of this young man, and continue to see.
Very proud to rep, for sure.
And if you want to get into something really fun and take a stab at maybe becoming a little more than a casual player and get in some of these tournaments to make tens of thousands of dollars at any given point with some of these major events. It's gonna be a tough hill to climb, but hey, we're rooting for you. Actually, this past Evo, there was a really young kid that was getting pretty far, maybe like 13 years old. You didn't see him?
I'm not aware of it, but there's always been really young people that have excelled at the game. I mean, right now Noah, he's very competent at the game. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's definitely under like 15. And there's always just new young blood playing. I think Winrich from California, from New York, he's a very fierce competitor, and I think he's probably younger than 16, if I'm incorrect.
So start practicing, folks. Insert Coins is now your battleground and practice spot.
If anyone has any questions, and I am ever here, I would gladly play you in any of the fighting games I compete at. So.
And check him out on Twitter at Chobo Ruin. And that's pretty much gonna do it, man. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Oh, of the Ultimate type.
Ultimate, yes.
Ultimate
not
Marvel
the first
Capcom
one. Let's
3.
not get that twisted.
All right.
When Fallout let me use the computer to Google, I Googled the word fun. Something fun always popping up. And then you keep searching, and then it's always like sex stuff. And that's when I gotta shut it off.